When I married my wife, I believed we were building something unbreakable. We had our share of fights and struggles like every couple, but I always thought love would be enough to hold us together. That illusion shattered the day my younger sister came to me, her face pale, her voice trembling, and repeated the words my wife had said to her. She told me, if she had the chance, she'd never choose you again. She said marrying you was a mistake. At first, I didn't believe it. I laughed nervously, thinking maybe my sister misheard or my wife was joking. But the look in my sister's eyes told me otherwise. She had no reason to lie to me, no gain from causing me pain. She told me my wife had said it casually, almost, bragging, like it was a truth she had held inside for years. Those words stabbed me deeper than any fight we had ever had, because they weren't just cruel. They erased our entire marriage in a single sentence. For 2 days, I kept quiet, pretending. Nothing was wrong, but inside I was boiling. I watched her go about her life like everything was fine, scrolling on her phone, laughing with friends, making plans for the weekend, while all I could hear in my head was her voice saying she'd never choose me again. If she could say that to my sister, what was she saying to others behind my back? What did she truly think of me when I wasn't in the room? Finally, I couldn't keep it in anymore. One evening after dinner, I sat across from her and asked directly, "Did you tell my sister that marrying me was a mistake? That if you had the chance, you'd never choose me again?" For a split second, she froze. Then she smirked, shrugged her shoulders, and said, "So what if I did? Don't be so dramatic. Everyone has doubts. Maybe I shouldn't have settled. So young. Maybe I could have done better. Why are you acting like it's the end of the world?" Her words confirmed everything. It wasn't a slip of the tongue. It wasn't a joke. It was the truth she had been hiding behind fake smiles and empty affection. That moment, something inside me shut off. I wasn't going to beg her to love me. I wasn't going to convince her of my worth. If she truly thought she could do better, then I would show her exactly what it meant to lose me. That night, while she slept, I made my plans. I gathered every piece of evidence of her disrespect, her careless words, and the subtle signs of betrayal I had ignored for years. I had noticed the late nights out, the secrecy with her phone, the cold distance in our bed. I didn't want to believe she was capable of hurting me, but now I didn't care whether she was cheating or just cruel. I was done giving her the benefit of the doubt. By the end of the week, I had emptied our joint accounts into a private one in my name, moved my important documents out of the house, and spoken to a lawyer. My wife thought I was being quiet because I was sulking. In reality, I was preparing my exit. I even scheduled the meeting at the lawyer's office on the very same day she was planning a girls' night out. She walked out of the door, humming, happily, not knowing her entire world was about to collapse. The following morning, I left the divorce papers on the kitchen table with a note. "You said you'd never choose me again. Now you don't have to. This marriage is over." Alongside it, I left copies of her own text messages I had retrieved through our phone plan, the ones she sent to her friends, mocking me, calling me boring, saying she settled because she didn't think she could get anyone better at the time. She couldn't deny any of it, because it was her own words, her own handwriting, her own betrayal laid out in front of her. When she came home and saw the papers, she lost it. She screamed, cried, begged, said she didn't mean it, that she was just venting, that my sister misunderstood her. But it was too late. The damage wasn't just done, it was permanent. My love for her had been replaced by something far stronger: resolve. For years she thought I'd never have the courage to walk away, that I needed her more than she needed me. She thought she could disrespect me in private and still enjoy the comfort of my loyalty. That day, she learned she was wrong. The divorce moved faster than she expected. I had planned everything down to the smallest detail. She thought she'd walk away with half of everything, but the lawyer and I had already secured what mattered. By the time she realized what was happening, she had nothing left to negotiate with. The same woman who once claimed she could have done better than me was left scrambling for an apartment she could barely afford. Months later, people told me they saw her around town, looking bitter, struggling, telling anyone who would listen how cruel I had been. But the truth was simple. She destroyed herself. All I did was listen to her words and take them seriously. She said she wouldn't choose me again, and I gave her the chance to live without me. She lost not only her marriage, but her financial security, her social standing, and the respect of the very people she once tried to impress. And me? I walked away stronger. My sister had saved me by telling me the truth, even though it hurt. My wife thought her words would stay hidden, that her little confessions wouldn't matter. But words have consequences. She spoke her truth, and I answered, with mine. My response wasn't yelling, wasn't begging, wasn't violence. My response was simple, brutal, and final. I gave her exactly what she said she wanted, a life without me.